Barakafaya, how about Shami Hawashai?
Shy.
Double honors to the apostles of GMS. And shalom to all of the sincere Akim. Hey, we've been out here for a minute, but we're just gonna take it in a spirit with this quick video, man, and just go into a few quick key topics. I'm gonna start with Luke the 19th chapter. This is a parable of Yahweh Shai, man, regarding the 10 pieces of money. I'm gonna start from. I'm gonna start from verse 10. For the Son of Man is come to seek and to save that which was lost. See, a lot of people have this misconception that Yahweh Shai came to just deal with the higher esteemed people, the people so-called, doing that man eye service, that man pleasing. But Yahweh Shai came for the meek, man. The scribes and the Pharisees always came against Yahweh Shai, and they were like, why does he sit with the vagabonds and the money exchangers? But that's because Yahweh Shai came for the sick. Yahweh Shai came to deliver, man. And the scribes and the Pharisees, they had everything. They were fat, man. They were living good. So why would Yahweh Shai come to take them when they had nothing to be healed from, man? They were all down with the Romans philosophy. Yahweh Shai came to heal. He was the physician for those that were in a lowly state, the meek. It goes on to say, and as they heard these things, it's like the light. And as he heard these things, he added and spake a parable because he was nigh to Jerusalem, and because they thought that the kingdom of Yahweh Shai should immediately appear. He said, therefore, a certain noble went into a far country to receive for himself a kingdom and to return. And he called his 10 servants and delivered unto them 10 pounds and said unto them, occupy till I come. But his citizens hated him and went and sent a message after him, saying, we will not have this man to reign over us. And it came to pass that when he was returned, having received the kingdom, that he commanded these servants to be called unto him to whom he had given the money, that he might know how much every man had gained by trading. And that's exactly what we're doing in the spiritual sense. Every man has been given a certain allotment. You got men that are allotted to be the head of camp. Some men are second in command. You got captains. You got prophets. You even got some men that are helps, but they're consistent with it and they're out there helping brothers. Whether that be doing little things like supporting brothers financially, or with carnal things, getting brothers waters when they need it, just showing brothers love, Every man's got a dispensation.
I can get that for you in Corinthians if you want.
Go on, bro.
Alright, it says, shit. Hey, it's a long one, isn't it? Let me just find the point.
Yeah. But yeah, man, like I was saying, every man's got a dispensation. Every man's got an allotment in this truth, We all got a part to play in the body. And like, you might be right-handed and your left hand might not be strong as your left hand, but hey, man, you still need both hands to keep a balance, Go on, bro. You go ahead.
1 Corinthians, we'll start at 12 and we'll start from verse 22. But now are there many members, yet but one body, and the eye cannot say unto the hand, I have no need of thee.
That's right.
Nor again the head to the feet, I have no need of you.
That's right.
Nay, much more those members of the body which seem to be more feeble and necessary.
That's right. I just want to say this on that, like, you can't have the perception that just because a brother's ahead of a camp that he's more important than the little brother that does little things like bring out precepts and hold signs, because we're all one body, man. Yahweh Shai respects the smallest brother just as much as the head, man, because there's no respect to persons with Yahweh Shai.
Hey, if I can chime in on that, Yahweh Shai said, in as much as you done it unto one of these little ones, you done it unto me. Right, all right, so like the brother was saying, man, you do something to Yahweh Shai. If you do something for your brother, it's like you're doing it for Yahweh Shai directly, because the spirit of Yahweh Shai is on that man. Right, man. So you got to consider that.
That's right. And every brother's important. You might look at a man carnally and think that there's not much he can offer physically. If people chuck at you at the camp, he might not be able to do nothing. But hey, brothers got different talents. There's some man that might not be the most physical to protect brothers when physicalities come. But when spiritual shit hits you, man, those brothers are like, you might have a brother that's heavy in the spirit, but and always ready to admonish you and lift you up in the spirit. But he might not be the most physical and vocal presence, man. Every man's got a different allotment in this truth, and you got to accept brothers as long as they're actually earnestly fighting for the truth. Is there more on it, bro?
Yeah, I'm saying it's a long one, this one. It says, and nay, much more those members of the body which seem to be more feeble and necessary. Well, I'll give an example of that. Your toes, man. Without your toe, you might not even make any notice of your toes in your day-to-day. Without your toes, you can't balance, man. And look how tiny your toes are. You might be thinking, yeah, but my brain's more important, but your brain can't function without your heart. Can't function without all of the other members of your body, because it needs to be fed. How's it gonna be fed without a mouth?
That's right.
Hey, key word that you said, brother, was balance. Hey, the Lord said a false balance is what? An abomination, man. So that goes for the body as well.
That's right.
You know, you got brothers that be on the front lines, and you got brothers, behind the scenes, so called, man. But
Hey, man, which is why another thing of order is important, man.
That's
They're
right.
saying anything with two heads is usually a monster, man. You get people that will be like, nah, I'm gonna be head as well, or nah, I'm gonna be head.
That's right.
You said you were gonna say?
I was just gonna say, man, like the brother just said, without Joseph, what was his name? The one that paid for Yahushua's funeral.
Arithmeia.
But yeah, man, without the man named Joseph that paid for Yahushua's funeral, there would have been no burial for the Lord.
the helps.
You know?
Got
It was the help.
help.
Without him, Yahushua would have had a cheap burial, man. So every man had an allotment to play, man. Even though he wasn't out there all the time with the apostles putting in work, traveling in the different cities, man. He gave the Most High Son, although it wasn't the most glorious because Jake was in slavery at the time. He gave the Lord somewhat of an honorable burial, man. Without him, man, who knows what the Romans would have done? They would have probably taken the piss and left his body just to disintegrate into the. Obviously, that's the Lord. The Most High would never allow that, but. Without Joseph, man, I'm just saying that allotment would never have happened, man. Every man's got a part to play. I was in Costa today, and it's a spiritual thing. Like, I saw Jake, yeah, and he looked hella troubled. Like, and it was a thing where I had no change on me, and I thought I did. Went to buy a hot chocolate because I got a cold at the moment, and like, I was literally just like, you know what, fuck it, I ain't even got the money on me right now. And then Jake just walked up to me and was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna pay for you. And I was like, that's the spirit of the Lord, man. Now, Yahweh Shemi Hawashai Ra'azah, Lord willing, I be a man of the Lord. But Yahweh Shemi Hawashai Barakah that man, because at the end of the day, Barak that man, bless that man, because at the end of the day, man, that guy didn't know me from nowhere. But the Most High, if I'm a man of the Lord, Lord willing, put him in that situation so that he could be saved from the hell that's going to come for whatever reason. Because, hey, man, does the scripture not say, he that giveth a prophet a cup of water to drink shall receive a prophet's reward? So, Lord willing, man, there's more in it. Go on, man.
Right, it says, and those members of the body which we think to be less honourable, upon these we bestow more abundant honour, and the uncomely parts have more abundant comeliness.
That's right.
Hey man, you might get brothers that might be thinking, oh man, I'm just a sign holder, man. Hey man, but you might be the best damn sign holder, man.
Hey, your sign might attract a brother that's of the elect to come and inquire about the truth, man. And then hear a man preaching and get saved.
Because you might have just had it at the right angle at the right time. Because sometimes you might have it this way, man. Maybe that one moment you just had it right there in the position that God was looking at, man.
Yeah, and he'll put, what's that sign? What, America's gonna be destroyed? Yeah. And he'll come up to the camp. So what's it? What, America's in the Bible, is it? Yeah. And then we break it down for him, and then all of a sudden, man, he's getting fed. And then that's a brother, that's a potential brother, that's being edified, by the church, man. Right, and the Lord, hey, the scripture say that the man's goings are of the Lord.
That's right.
So don't think that whatever job that you're doing is small, man. Like, we've all got our roles to play, like the brothers are saying.
That's right. You got more?
Right, it says, more abundant honor to that part which lacked. It says that there should be no schism in the body. And let's look up that word real quick, schism.
Hey.
A split or gap, literally, figuratively, division, rent, schism, division.
Let there be no leaven, man. A little leaven left the whole lump, man.
Yeah, scripture also saying 1 Corinthians that there should be no division among you.
That's right, man.
Right?
That's right.
That there should be no schism in the body, but that the members should have the same care one for another.
That's right.
Right? Hey, man, you can't have say, I'm gonna respect this man, because he's so and so in the camp, but I'm gonna respect this brother a little bit less.
But that's doing the work of the Most High deceitfully. You know what the scriptures say about that? Cursed be he that doeth the work of the Most High deceitfully. You mentioned this at camp, man. You had Ananias and Sapphira. They sold land, man. And if you know anything about land, man, not just a house, they had land. Like, you see, right now we're in a park. They could have owned, like, a plot of land, yeah? They sold the shit. So you can imagine, like, there were some men giving all they had. Some man would have come with 50 shekels, some with 1,000. And you can imagine niggas as well, man. They would have come there on some, they might have sold it for 100,000, brought over 50,000 to Peter and them and said, look, brothers, we have enough money here to suffice for the whole of Israel. for like 10 years. We don't need the Romans. We can go build our own fortress, you know. They might have been trying to say, yeah, man, we can go build, you know, whatever the equivalent would have been of a Black Wall Street back then. But Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai wasn't with that because they were holding back, man. They weren't given all that they had, man, you know. So really, it's not the size of your sacrifice. It's really about the sincerity of it, man. That's what Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai looks at. You like a brother might come into this truth, know one breakdown of Revelations 1 and 13 at the 11th hour, and he might get saved. You got a man like Sakari that was going into the scriptures and that breakdown. But now look at him now, man. Look at, you know, you got Amashawah Yalla. You got so many man that were in this truth that people looked at as outstanding. And that's the thing. You got like, you know, you got a man that plays basketball. Look at it like this. Obviously, the main thing you're going to look at is the flick of his wrist and how he shoots. You look at a footballer, you're going to look at his technique. But there's so much more that goes into it. The back muscle goes into it. You know, the tricep, the thigh, all little things that you take no account of. But all those little muscles play a part. Without your tricep, you ain't jumping nowhere. You ain't taking no shot.
You know, just on that, man. Once going back again, you know, to balance and all of that. Right, whenever you're training, man, you might not be able to do certain training exercises because your stabilizer muscles aren't strong enough.
That's right.
Like, you don't know about what the name of each stabilizer muscle is called, but you know about the bicep, you know about the tricep, etc., etc., etc. Right, but on those people that you named, Amashaba, Allah, Sakari, right, that goes back to what I said about just now about certain people, which you call it anything with more than one head is a monster, man. They were trying to bring division into the camp, man. They were trying to be something else. They were trying to be ahead when already heads in the camp, man.
And you gotta know, being ahead is a lot of responsibility, man. You got their attention on you, man.
That's right.
I'm gonna tell you straight, man. Look, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai Ra'azah, make it to the kingdom. I'm happy to be in the lot that I'm in, man. That the Lord's determined for me. I can't match up to the apostles. I can't match up to the heads of our camp. At the end of the day, I've got an allotment that I've got to keep. I've got Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai Ra'azah, brothers that are gonna be above me, brothers that are gonna be under me. But at the same time, hey, man, I'm a piece of shit, man. We're all pieces of shit. And really and truly, man, like, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai could take me out, replace me with another brother that could come. Another brother could come tomorrow, and Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai could give him the dispensation of the Spirit, and in about a week, you could be on the level that the Most High put me on. You don't know, man. The Most High said he could raise a new Israel from stones. So we're nothing but pieces of shit, man. But I just want to quickly continue with this. So this is Luke 19 and 16. Then the first came saying, Lord, thy pound have gained 10 pounds. So that's a man that gained, you know, like the head of our camp, man, that went out there on his own, found brothers, you know, liaised with brothers, and then built a camp 15, 16 man strong now, you know. But it says, and he said unto them, well, thou good servant, because thou hast been faithful in very little, have thou authority over 10 cities, man. So the Most High, you know, honored that man. And it says, and the second came saying, Lord, thy pound have gained 5 pounds. So there might be a man that's second in command, or a man that's just a reader, you know. But then he goes out there, and from the dispensation he gets from the brother above him, he goes and gets another man into the camp, and he brings him in, and then that brother, you know, starts learning from him, and he's giving fruit unto that brother, man. Let's see what the Lord said. He said, and like he said, likewise, be thou also over 5 cities. And another man came saying, Lord, behold, here is thy pound which I have kept laid up in a napkin. That's the kind of man that's on some, you know, I kept it pretty for you though, you know, like, yeah, you know, I made some YouTube comments, you know, I kept the law, I kept the law, you know, I prayed to your name, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, but you weren't out there with the Lord in the trenches, man. Nobody respects a man with lip service, man. Well, this is a war we're fighting, like I went into earlier.
The scripture says faith without works is dead.
Faith without works is dead, man. This is a war that we're fighting. And so you can't come at the end of the war when man have been scratched up, stabbed up, like, you know, some man have lost some limbs and say, you know, I was rooting for you, brother. Yeah. I was screaming for you. I was ready with the first aid kit. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, man, if you ain't out here fighting the good fight of faithful brothers, man, then what are you really doing, man? You know?
It's like what we're soldiers, right? It's like, where were you in the trenches, man?
That's right.
When we were in the front lines, you know, we needed help on the front lines and that. Where were you with the ammunition? Where were you with the precepts?
Hey, if I may say, I got a quick one as well. So 2nd Ezra 2:47, I'll explain the point. It says, so he answered and said unto me, it is the Son of the Most High, whom they have confessed in the world, then
right.
began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly in the name of the Lord.
I just want to back you up real quick with a quick point on that. Yahweh Shai himself said that him that confesses me before men, him shall I confess before my Father which is in heaven. So you see what we're doing when we're out there at camp cursing people out? Even when you're in the world and you call some shit out that you know is off, man, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai has got you for that, man, and he records that, man. And Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, like, come on, man, even on a carnal sense, when you speak in a man's honor and a man hears about it and sees you speak in his honor, he's gonna come and upbraid you for that. He's gonna think, he's gonna admonish you for that. So how much more the Lord, man? The Lord, he's the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, man. And right now, he knows the hell that we've gone through. Because don't forget, Yahweh Shai walked 33 years, man, in the flesh, perfectly. And he also lived past lives in the flesh. So he knows what it's like going through what we're going through right now. So Yahweh Shai appreciates what brothers do. But go on, bro. So like, yo.
Yeah, I was going to say, because, I was talking about the battle that we're going into, man. Everything. So what is it, so you basically says, then I began to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord, right? Who fought for the name of the Lord, man? Who fought for what the name of the Lord represents.
That's right.
Because a name, you got a name, but then you got a name. Hey man, hey, don't disrespect my name like that. You hear Jay, hey man, you making me look bad, man. What are you gonna say? You're making my name look bad. I think defamation of character is what Esau would call it in this generation.
That's right.
Even Birdman said that. Put some respect on my name.
Put some respect on my name.
Right? So if Birdman said that, how much more the Heavenly Father and His Son?
Exactly. So we're out here standing for what the Lord here, Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai stands for. We're out here standing for that, man, fighting for that, warring for that. You got people coming up to us saying, hey man, basically getting aggressive at council. Oh man, why are you lot even allowed to be here? This, that, and the other. You got people shouting at us, calling us names, making us look bad, doing videos on some pure slander shit. We've been here battling, man. But like the brother was going into, you get guys out there that ain't done anything, man. Because hey, but I tapped in some comments, I said shalom.
I shared a video, man. You know what I mean?
I uploaded some video. I did some re-ups,
But let's see what the Lord said, man. He said, and another came saying, Lord, behold, here is thy pound which I have kept laid up in a napkin. For I feared thee because thou art not an austere man. So he started making excuses. He was like, I know, you're a hard guy to please. So, I looked after this and I kept it clean and nice for you. I didn't want to risk losing it. So, that's exactly what a man's going to do. But the scripture says, say not to the angel it was a mistake, man. So, hey, I'm just going to continue reading on. It says, thou takest up that thou layest down, and reapest that thou does not sow. And
right.
He said,
if I make a point on that as well, because what that guy was like, look, to translate it into the truth. Look, I heard the scriptures in it. I heard that you deal with people this and that way, but you still didn't do it. Just like how you got guys today that hear, that read the scriptures, know how hard the Most High is going to come down on these nations, on these heathen, and on 2/3, or rather the wicked of our people, and they still ain't doing shit about it. They're still carrying on in their wickedness, and in that day, man, they're gonna be making excuses for themselves, man.
Well, you know what the scriptures say about if I justify myself,
That's right.
my own mouth shall prove me perverse.
That's
And
right.
also to back off of that, if every idle word that a man shall give shall be given account thereof in the day of judgment.
That's right.
So like the guy in it, he held it in a napkin and that. He tried to justify his actions. I fear thee because thou art an austere man. But at the end of the day,
He was going off as well because he was told a commandment, said, yo, go do that.
Mm-hmm.
What does the scripture say? Rebellion is as a sin of witchcraft.
That's right.
That's right,
Brother. That's right.
And the Lord told you guys to go out there on the highways and the byways and teach.
That's
But
right.
Y'all are making excuses for yourself.
Why? Because they're offended.
That's right.
They're offended, and they ain't willing to defend the honor of Yahweh Shai.
Hey,
He comes in the volume of the book.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, it is written of the Lord, right? So we got to go out there and the Lord testified against the works of the world. All right, He said the world cannot hate Him, but the world cannot hate you, but Him He hateth, because He testified that the works that they were evil.
That's right.
So you can't be ashamed to do that.
Yep, and also says, who shall rise up for me against the evil doers?
That's right. That's right.
We're those men out there rising up. We're saying, yo, this is off, this is right, Ezekiel 9:4. Abominations are going on this. So we're out there, we're calling them out. And do you know what it is? People, they don't want to offend Esau. They don't want to be standing there on the corner of the street, calling out homosexuality, calling out transgenderism. They don't really want to be out there on the streets doing that because they know this will happen. just because of that, just so they can look good in Edomites' eyes, man.
Hey man, let's read what Yahushua said. He said, verse 22, and he said unto him, out of thine own mouth will I judge thee. So like the brother said, thou wicked servant, thou knowest that I was an austere man, taken up that I had laid not down, and reaping that I did not sow. Wherefore then gavest not thou, wherefore then gavest not thou my money into the bank, that I might come and I might have required mine own with usury. And he said unto them,
Interest.
Right,
You got to go out there and you got to flip them talents. You can't just sit on you can't just put it in a napkin. You know, let it gather in dust. Like, you know, with, you know, what does the scripture say about laying up your treasures on earth? Where thieves breaking in steel and moth dust corrupt and thieves breaking in steel and whatnot, man. You can't be doing that, man. You know, the Lord's going to look at you sideways for that.
Hey, man, and that's the thing. Some brothers have got them talents, man. As long as they ain't carnal, man. As long as they ain't something that's too worldly or anything, man. Use these talents for this truth, man. You might be someone that's good at, you know, video editing and that. Use those talents, man. Edit some damn videos, man. Put together some, you know, some infomercials or something so that, I don't know, man. Just do what you gotta do, man.
That's right.
You know, you've been gifted, you know, you got a spate of Israelite foreigners nowadays, man. You know, them brothers, man, hey, the Lord didn't give you the ability to speak them languages for no damn reason, man.
That's right.
That's right. Hey, man. So it says, and he said unto them that stood by, take from him the pound and give it to him that have 10 pounds. And they said unto him, Lord, he have 10 pounds. For I say unto you that unto every one which have shall be given, and from him that have not, even that he have shall be taken away from him, man. You know? So you got to earnestly fight for your Haba Hashem Yahushua, man. These are testing times, and the Lord is testing us. Everything is a test, man. Every single thing you go through is a test. And we're fighting that solid lifestyle, man, of literally just solidarity. And we're here to catch hell, man. You wouldn't go, I mean, although this kingdom is off, so it can happen in this kingdom, but you wouldn't go to prison and try to take your PlayStation in there and have the soul for it. I mean, in this kingdom, they're trying to get Jake comfortable in hell, so they'll allow you to do that. But we're stranded in Babylon, like I like to say, man. And when you're stranded somewhere and you're trying to get home, you ain't trying to pitch up tent and get a mattress and go dreams and buy some fluffy pillows and get like flowers and shit and some deodorant for you're trying to get the fuck out of there, man. You're trying to march and walk back home as quick as possible, man. And that's what we're out here doing, man. Fuck this society.
I am single, as the scriptures say.
Yeah, man, I singular. Go on, bro.
And that's right. And just backing off of the parable, the Lord also said to occupy till I come.
Occupy.
All right, and that word occupy, when you go into it, it means maintain a business of a trader or a banker.
That's right.
All right, because like I said, you got to go out there, you got to flip them talents, man.
That's right, man.
You know, you got to be willing to trade, man. You know, otherwise you're gonna be one of them standing with your hands in your pockets. Then what? You're gonna get that answer. Go to the sellers and buy.
That's right.
You know, you don't want to be that guy, man. You don't want to be that guy when you had the opportunity to go out there and flip this. You know. When the Lord required it with usury.
Seeking the Lord while he may be found, man.
Khan.
Hey, man. Cause there's gonna be a famine of the word soon. Soon you see this park here, there's gonna be martial law troops here. There's gonna be dead bodies everywhere, man. Brothers ain't gonna be out here teaching the truth. My brothers are not gonna be in Oxford Circus. Cause in Oxford Circus is gonna be shut down. Top Shop is gonna be shut down.
Even if it isn't shut down, there's gonna be nothing to sell.
Yeah.
Or even better, you ain't gonna have any money in your account, man.
That's right.
Because these elites, they're looking to crash this economy, man. It's gonna happen soon. It's overdue, man.
And it's funny because you see, this economy is about to crash, but at the end of the day, we got occupied till the Lord comes, right? So it's like at the end of the day, what these guys are trying to do is they're trying to build up a life in this society, even though it's going down.
It's going down, man.
It's going down, man.
They're trying to build a burning house, man.
That's right.
Hey, man, what did the Lord say when his mom came looking for him, man? Hey, what do you mean you were looking for me, man? Didn't you know I was about my father's business?
Right,
he was maintaining that business that the Lord told him to do. He was about his father's will, man.
Hey, even the guy was like, yo, man, let me go bury my father first, man. Hey, yo, it was cold. Let the dead bury the dead.
That's right, brother.
Yo, that's cold, man.
That's right.
There's no, hey, Slucky, your father died, man. You know, it's peak. You know, you go do what you gotta do. Go grieve 7 days. You know, and then you can come. No, he said, let the dead bury the dead, man. Like basically, those people who have not the truth. You know, what was it? Proverbs 24:16. Congregation of the dead. You know, those people who ain't in this truth, they ain't got this truth, man. Let them go bury him, man. But you got something to do, man. You earn this truth. Go do what you gotta do, man.
That's right, man. Hey, man.
That's right.
I mean, that's it there, man. I think we touched on the point. So let's just cut it there and say, man, brothers, stay strong. And yeah, man, Barakafar Yahweh
Shay.
Double honors to the apostles. Yeah, Shalom.
Shalom.